Hello everyone, today we are going to read about the blood pressure regulation. So blood pressure is the function of cardiac output and peripheral resistance. Both of the cardiac output and peripheral resistance are influenced by the multiple genetic and environmental factors. The integration of the various input ensures adequate systemic perfusion despite differences in regional demand. So blood pressure is the function of cardiac output and peripheral resistance. So if cardiac output and peripheral resistance increase, then blood pressure is increased. And if cardiac output and peripheral resistance decreases, then blood pressure decreases. So cardiac output is the function of the stroke volume and heart rate. The most important determinant of the stroke volume is the filling pressure. The filling pressure is regulated through the sodium homeostasis and its effect on the blood volume. Heart rate and myocardial contractility, which is the second factor affecting the stroke volume, are both regulated by the alpha and beta adrenergic system. They have also important effect on the vascular tone. The alpha and beta adrenergic system has important effect of the vascular tone. So now, what are the various factors affecting the cardiac output? Cardiac output is affected by the blood volume and other various cardiac factor. So if there is increase in blood volume, then there is increase in cardiac output. The concentration of the blood volume is also determined by the sodium, mineralocorticols, atrial natriuretic peptides, which we will discuss detail in the subsequent lecture. And the cardiac factors are heart rate and contractility. If the heart rate and contractility increase, then cardiac output increases, thus increasing the blood pressure. And if heart rate and contractility is decreases, then there is decrease in cardiac output, leading to decrease in the blood pressure. So now peripheral vascular resistance is regulated predominantly at the level of arterioles by the neural and humoral outputs. Vascular tone reflects the balance between vasoconstrictor including alpha adrenergic system, angiotensin II, catecholamines, thromboxane, leukotrienes, and endothelin, and the vasodilators like beta adrenergic system and dilators like prostaglandin, kinins, and nitric oxide. Resistance in blood vessel also exhibit autoregulation, whereby increased blood flow induces vasoconstriction to protect tissue against hyperperfusion. Finally, blood pressure is finely regulated by the different local factors, that is autoregulation, pH, and hypoxia also affect the peripheral vascular resistance of the body. So this is the various factors that affect the blood pressure. The various factors that directly or indirectly affect the cardiac output and peripheral vascular resistance directly affect the blood pressure. So now let us discuss about the interplay of renin, angiotensin, aldosterone, and atrial natriuretic peptide in maintaining the blood pressure homeostasis. Under the normal condition, what happens? There is the normotension. The blood pressure is accurately maintained by the various mechanisms. By the maintenance of the cardiac output and peripheral resistance, the blood pressure is accurately maintained. So the pathological change, what happen? There can be the decrease in blood pressure, or there can be the increase in blood pressure. This is the pathological condition. So when there is decrease or increase in blood pressure, there comes the play of the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone, and atrial natriuretic peptide mechanism, which maintains the blood pressure homeostasis. So let us discuss in detail what and how the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone, and atrial natriuretic peptide maintain the blood pressure of the human being. So whenever there is decrease in blood pressure by any means, the blood pressure could be decreased by the decrease in the blood volume, decrease in the peripheral vascular resistance, or there could be the renal artery stenosis, leading to the decrease in decrease in the decrease in the blood flow in the kidney. So the juxtaglomerular apparatus, where the blood is filtered, sense that there is decrease in blood volume. So decrease in blood volume leading to the decrease in blood pressure. This juxtaglomerular apparatus senses the decrease in blood pressure. So the juxtaglomerular apparatus secretes the renin. So renin what does? The renin converts the angiotensinogen, which is secreted from the liver, to angiotensin 1. So in the angiotensin 1 in the various endothelium, in the many tissue and in the lung, and with the help of angiotensin converting enzyme, which is the product of the vascular endothelium, is converted to the angiotensin 2. So now angiotensin 2 what does? The angiotensin 2 directly vasoconstricts, leading to directly increase in the blood pressure. And another what does that? Angiotensin stimulates the adrenal gland, releasing the aldosterone. So what is the role of the aldosterone? Aldosterone increase the reabsorption of the sodium and water, increasing the blood volume. So the blood pressure increases. So now what happens? There are the increase in blood pressure, increase in blood volume, and increase in resistance also increases the blood pressure. So other factors that causes increase in blood volume are excess dietary sodium, inadequate excretion such as renal failure, hyperaldosteronism, increased sodium reabsorption like Gitelman, Bartter and Liddle syndrome. So increased resistance, in what condition there is increased resistance? In increased sympathetic tone, for example pheochromocytoma, and increased renin angiotensin aldosterone axis. So that is the, if there is decrease in blood pressure, then the renin angiotensin aldosterone mechanism increases the blood pressure by releasing the renin and ultimately secreting the angiotensin 2, which leads to the increase in blood pressure by the vasoconstriction and sodium and water reabsorption by the help of the aldosterone. And now what happened? Increase in blood pressure will lead to the volume overload. So this is also the pathological condition. If there is volume overload, then there is the release of atrial natriuretic peptide, because if there is volume overload, then there is the stretching of the walls of the atria and ventricle. So they release the atrial natriuretic peptide. Atrial natriuretic peptide what does? The atrial natriuretic peptide directly vasodilates, decreasing the blood pressure. And atrial natriuretic peptide what does? It excretes sodium and water from the kidney. So more excretion of the sodium and water from the kidney leads to decrease in blood volume, leading to decrease in blood pressure. So now this is the interplay of the renin angiotensin aldosterone and natriuretic peptide in maintaining the blood pressure homeostasis. Thank you.